Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Emerald with only one Meg Cargo was an unbelievably brutal fire run near the end. Let's follow that up with another fire run that I think is gonna be crazy. Today's the day that we figure out, would I be able to beat Pokemon Red with a team of only one Growlithe? A few weeks ago we did a run with Blaine's team, but because his Arcanine was basically his only usable Pokemon, it just became the Arcanine with bad moves run. Some people asked if that means that we'll no longer be doing the long-awaited Growlithe run, but rest assured, you're getting that one today. First solo Fire-type run since Torkoal, I think. Anyway, our stats are pretty terrible. In fact, they're a little worse than they look here, since Gen 1 uses Special instead of Special Attack and Special Defense. Seeing as our base Special is 50 and not 70, our fire moves are actually going to be weaker than in later games, making us a physical attacker, weirdly enough. I'll still probably rely mostly on fire moves, though. By level up, we only have Bite and Roar for ages, not getting Ember until level 18. And honestly, that's about it until level 50 when we learn Flamethrower. Yes, Flamethrower is the only good move we learn by level up, and that's not until all the way at level 50. Growlithe doesn't even learn Growl, despite it literally being in his name. Oh, by the way, some people were saying that Arcanine levels slowly because you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And like, it's a cool theory, but Growlithe isn't an old dog, and he also levels slow, so I don't know what to tell ya. Right, so for TMs, we can learn that super strong Gen 1 Dig, as well as Body Slam and Fire Blast, but that's about all I'm seeing that's particularly good. I mean, maybe I can do something with Double Edge, but Body Slam isn't much weaker, and it doesn't have recoil damage. Plus, it's got the chance to paralyze, and that's pretty great. I'm thinking Flamethrower, Fire Blast, Dig, and Body Slam as our final move set. Like always, I'm writing this script as I go through with the challenge, so all of this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I think that I can win, but that Lorelai, Lance, and probably the Pokemon Champion will all go horribly. It's a weak Pokemon that levels slowly. What else can I expect? Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use Growlithe. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. So right off the bat, I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Charmander with Growlithe so that we can do the whole run with it. I picked to replace Charmander so that our rival would have Blastoise, probably the hardest for us to fight. I name him Meowlith because that's hilarious. Thanks to Cosmo on Twitter for that one. Alright, so, the early grind. You know how this goes for the most part. I mean, this is basically the same start as the Blaine run, and it won't be much different until after the Brock fight. See, in that Blaine run, we were allowed to use Ember, since Blaine's Arcanine uses it, but we weren't allowed to use Bite after getting Ember. Well, in this run we can. I know, the ability to use Bite doesn't quite sound as impressive as getting to use an Arcanine. I'd rather have an Arcanine too. My point is that after the Rock Gym, our larger move variety will help us at least in the short term. It might even help us in the long term when we get some decent TM moves, but I don't think it's going to help us quite as much in the super long term, since there's going to be a pretty noticeable point when Growlithe is much weaker than Arcanine, and that the better moves just don't cut it anymore. Plus, Arcanine did have Fire Blast. Our Growlithe will never get a move that's stronger than Arcanine's Fire Blast. Let's just hope that we can beat Brock at level 18 like last time. Once we get to Brock, it goes pretty much the same way as in the Blaine run. We just use Ember to pretty easily beat Geodude, then we use Ember and Roar to beat Onix. Oh, by the way, not only does Roar not work in trainer battles in Gen 1, but it also doesn't have negative priority in this game, so you don't always go second using it. I saw a lot of comments asking about that on the Blaine video, so I thought I'd let you know. Okay, so traveling right after is actually a lot easier just because we can use Bite if we need to, but it's not like it's a great move. In fact, Dark type wasn't a thing yet, so it's just normal type. Still, this area is mostly easy thanks to the quantity of bug types and us having Ember. Now, in Mount Moon I actually bother fighting wild Pokemon. I don't always do this, since it's obviously worth a lot less experience than trainers, but we level slowly and we're weaker, so the extra experience is pretty important. Especially considering we won't get a decent move for quite a while. I'm thinking the best I can do is level a little bit here, beat the rival, get the TM for Dig, and then use that to beat Misty's Water Gym. On our way there, I took the Helix Fossil. I knew that if I didn't say what I took, you'd all ask. Actually, now that I think about it, everyone ask anyway. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Rival time. First is Pidgeotto, who did a little damage before missing a sand attack. I'm so happy that missed. Abra couldn't fight back, so he went down fine, and Rattata actually did a decent bit of damage to us with Hyper Fang and Quick Attack before we took him down. Last was Squirtle, and I was actually pretty worried, but he used Tail Whip instead of fighting us, so we just bit him twice to have him go down. Well, the rival fight went pretty well. Having Bite helps so much here, just so I don't have to use fire moves on water types. Soon that won't be a problem though, since finishing Untitled-Bridge is what lets us go get the TM for Dig. Dig has 100 power in Gen 1, just like Earthquake, so even though our base attack is only 50, it should still be strong enough to take on Misty's Water Gym. I mean, as long as we don't get crit by Bubble Beam or something, which happens all the time, it wouldn't even surprise me. First try starts great when we crit Staryu with Dig for a one-shot. Didn't do quite as hot against Starmie, who crit us with Bubble Beam, because of course. Second try, and we get crit again. Look, it's Gen 1, I expect this. Third try, and she uses Water Gun for some reason, so we hit the first Dig, but as we went for the second one, Misty used an X defend, so it wasn't enough for the knockout. Then she crit Water Gun, because it's Gen 1, so it's just gotta be a crit. Fourth try, and she uses X defend early, so we don't even do half her health and damage. Are we really not ready for this? Kinda felt like we were ready for this. Let's go do the SS and first. So at the SS and, we can pick up the TM for Body Slam, and I do learn it, but it's not as strong as Dig, so I'm not really sure how helpful that's gonna be in the Misty fight. I'm mostly here just because we actually need to get some levels. I mean, that and the rival fight here is always easy. I'm kind of worried that the early game is going to be harder than I expected, because I really thought Dig was going to be strong enough to get us the win back there. Oh, and the rival fight was easy as usual. Body Slam did an awesome job, and we really lucked out on Wartortle not trying anything crazy. You never know when a crit is going to take you out after all. Oh, and of course against Misty, we just crit, so we probably didn't need any of those extra levels. Critting Body Slam nearly did the job, so I'm sure a critical Dig would have done it. Let's just go get the Electric Gym over and done with. Alright, well, at least it was super easy. Body Slam took down the first two Pokemon just fine, then Dig one-shot Raichu. Thunderbolt did hurt quite a bit, but not as much as I was expecting. Those fights may have gone well, but I'm still gonna try and pick up some more levels. Rock Tunnel isn't too scary since we have Dig, but I know it's only a matter of time before we get Brick Walled. The Grass Gym shouldn't be too hard, and I even think the Poison Gym will be pretty easy with Dig, but I think I'm gonna get stuck at Sylph Cove for quite a while. I know it seems like that's a little far off, but the only things between now and then is this tunnel, a couple of usually easy fights with Giovanni and our rival, and then Sylph Cove's open. We can do the Grass, Poison, and Fire gyms first if we want to, but those are probably going to be easy gyms thanks to having Dig. I assume we'll just lose the Psychic gym if we're not fast enough, but more importantly, I think we'd pretty easily lose the Sylph Co rival fight. I'm gonna have to get stronger. As we make our way through, it's time for this week's sponsorship, back with Chimera again. This week we're checking out the Fleece Essential Shorts, well, with it being summer and all. This super comfy blend of ring-spun cotton and polyester is great for both of the best summer activities of being active outdoors and lounging around your house. It's got a drawstring so you can adjust the size and tightness, a feature that'll come in handy the next time you're having a barbecue. And of course, Chimera's premium dyes don't wash out easily, so you can expect these to keep their nice color for a good long time. If you want to get yourself a pair, then check out the description for a link to Chimera where you can use the code Mah-Dry-Bread at checkout to get a discount and to let them know that I sent you. Let's go take on Erica. So as soon as I get to Celadon, I head straight for the Grass Gym. It went really well, with Victory Bell and Tangela both hardly doing anything to us. Vileplume was a bit more of an issue thanks to landing Sleep Powder on us, but even with that advantage, she could hardly hurt us with Petal Dance. We still took her down, no problem. Before we leave town, we have to do the Rocket Hideout. I'm actually not too worried about Giovanni here in spite of being Fire-type, just because Gen 1 Dig is really good. You know, now that I think about it, he doesn't have Earthquake, right? I think he doesn't get that until the Ground Gym battle. Does Earthquake hit underground Pokemon in Gen 1? Because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not really sure when that was added. You know what, I'm just gonna go look it up. Alright, looks like it was added in Gen 2, so we're in the clear. Awesome. I was kind of worried about the Dugtrio near the end being a problem. That's way later, though. We still got to do the first Giovanni fight, and then the Pokemon Tower rival fight. So Giovanni was pretty easy, with both of his rock types getting one shot. Kangaskhan did a bit of damage to us, but it really wasn't much, not that we could do much in return. Hey, shouldn't baby Kangaskhan be an egg Pokemon? Can someone at Game Freak make that a playable Pokemon already? Because I kind of feel like I should be using one for these challenge runs. Next is the always easy Pokemon Tower rival fight. I asked recently why this fight is always so easy, and people said that it's because you're supposed to do it the moment you leave Rock Tunnel. But, I don't know. Even on runs where I do that, I win just as easily. What level was I when I finished Rock Tunnel? 34? I think I could have won this at level 34 just fine. I just usually don't fight the rival then because there's no point in going into the tower until you have the Sylph Scope since you can't actually finish the tower without it. Well, those fights were easy, as usual. What I'm pumped for is the next part of the run because I really don't know how it's gonna go. The Poison Gym is next, and it unlocks Surf outside of battle so that we can go do the Fire Gym after. I could see the Poison Gym taking a few tries thanks to accuracy and evasion moves, but I think that Dig is going to be strong enough that we can still win without too much trouble. I'm really excited for the Fire Gym right after it though, because you just know we have to see how low of a level we can beat Blaine at, especially since we're using a Growlithe. He can use his super potions and roar while we use dig, and we'll just see whose strategy gets the win. So the Poison Gym started amazingly, with us not even getting hurt by any of his first 3 Pokemon. What really surprised me though was against Weezing, where he used an X attack, tanked dig, then took out about half of our health with Sludge. I know X attack helps a lot, but man, that much damage for Sludge? We took him out on the follow-up. Kinda happy he didn't use self-destruct that time. It might have one-shot us. I'm on my way to the Fire Gym now. Can you feel the anticipation in the air? I feel like we need a Gen 1 Blaine Bingo card. Will he never use an attacking move? Maybe he'll use super potions for every single round this fight. First is his Growlithe, and this is great. We use Dig, he uses Agility, and that makes him attack first round so he misses while we're underground. Naturally, we one-shot him. Next was Ponyta, who went down in 1 dig, and Rapidash was faster than us, but missed Growl, so no attack loss going into the Arcanine fight. He's faster than us, so we get hit by Takedown right away to lose about 50 health. Then he healed up from his recoil damage while we were underground. It's not a bad plan actually, but we only had to tank another takedown before we could finish him off with Dig. We're both level 47, and my Growlithe is better than his Arcanine. Blaine, you should learn Dig. It's really good in this game. Would you believe it if I said that we're in the last few areas of the game? All that's left is Silphco with its rival fight and Giovanni fight. Then we just go do the Psychic Gym right outside, and that unlocks the last Giovanni fight at the Ground Gym and the second from last rival fight. After that, we're already at Victory Road. I'm actually feeling pretty good about this run so far, so I think I'm gonna just try and take on the rival at Silphco early. I might regret it a bit if I end up beating the bosses here before the trainers, just to end up needing the trainers to grind on considering they vanish after Giovanni gets beaten, but we'll cross that bridge if we come to it. First was Pidgeot, who went down in 2 hits. He was no problem since he just wasted his chance with Whirlwind. When they sent out Growlithe, we just body slammed it down to a sliver, and it ended up getting fully paralyzed. It went down on the follow-up, and next was Execute. Ember did great damage, but he got us with Stun Spore, so we got paralyzed before taking him down. Against Alakazam, he wasted his first turn on Recover before we took him to a sliver off Body Slam. He used a normal potion, then hit us with Confusion before we finished him off. Problem is, as soon as we get to Blastoise is when the paralysis finally decided to kick in, and we lost 4 turns in a row while he spammed Withdraw so our Body Slams could hardly hurt him anymore. We held on for ages since he was just using Bubble and a Water Gun, but we still went down eventually. Well, I'm only 1 level away from learning Flamethrower, and that'll one-shot Execute, so let's just try that one again. Alright, next try and things go much better with Flamethrower, getting that one shot that I was expecting, and everything else was going more or less the same. Against Blastoise, we got crit by Water Gun right away to lose a huge chunk of our health, but a few Body Slams still did a great job. The Giovanni fight right after was super easy, we hardly even got hurt. I think Giovanni has a chance of being hard in this last fight if his Dugtrio ends up being faster than us, but here in Silphco, he's just a pushover. Let's keep this boss rush going. The Psychic Gym was so easy that we didn't even take damage. It was incredible. Alakazam used the one move more useless than Psywave, Recover, when he still had full health. I don't know what our game plan was. And at the Ground Gym right after, we literally didn't take a single hit. Yeah, our level 54 Growlithe was actually faster than their Dugtrio. That's gotta be a stat experience difference, right? I think the enemy trainers just don't have stat experience in this game, otherwise we'd probably have been slower than that. Right outside is the second from last rival fight. First was Pidgeot, who went down in 2 hits after wasting all of his time on agility. Rhyhorn was nearly a one-shot with Flamethrower, then he missed a Horn Drill, so I took the chance to build my agility, tanked a weak Stomp, then took him down. His Growlithe went down real easy, so did his Execute right after. Alakazam hung on from a Body Slam just to set up Reflect. It doesn't carry over from teammate to teammate in this game, so that's fine, he went down. Last was Blastoise, who we fully paralyzed right away with a Slam. He actually took a ton of hits to take down, but he just kept using Withdraw, so he never hurt us. Pretty easy first try, but the end was luck. Last before the Elite Four is Victory Road, so let's assess stuff as we travel. I'm really worried about how both Lorelai and the last rival fight are gonna go. If we were doing that little damage to Blastoise now, how bad is the final fight gonna be? Yeah, he might just spam Withdraw, but he also might spam Hydro Pump. Chances are he'll have a lot of opportunities to do it too, so we're probably getting hit. Seeing as he's the last Pokemon that'll come out in the fight, we're probably going to be missing some health already, so I figure a Hydro Pump would finish us off. I mean, if we can even get to the rival. I could see Lorelei, Slowbro, and Lapras brick-walling us for a while. Maybe if I learned Fire Blast, then it would be enough to one-shot Lapras, but I think I'd need a crit, so I'm not really sure how practical that solution is. Point being, I doubt I can win without more leveling. Now that we're at the Elite Four, let's take a look at our stats. Well, our attack is okay, but that's about it. I guess 166 health isn't horrible, but that terrible defense and special makes me think that the health isn't enough. I'll give the Elite Four a try, but I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna have to go grind. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. First is Ice Trainer Lorelai. It started really rough with our Flamethrowers and Body Slams not doing nearly enough damage to Dugong for an easy win, but we lucked out, and not only did we paralyze him, but he wasted some time with stuff like Growl. Against Cloyster, though, Flamethrower took out over half of his health before he crit Clamp. It works like Gen 1 Wrap, so we got stuck in and super easily taken down. Okay, we for sure need to be a higher level then. Grinding at this point is overall not too brutal, but being in the slow leveling category doesn't really do us any favors. Problem is, we kinda have to. Held items aren't a thing yet, and although we could learn Fire Blast for a stronger move, we'd have to ditch something, and I don't really know what I'd want to get rid of. Agility might still have some use for us, considering how much of a death sentence being slower than our opponent can be. That said, we do have the TM for Fire Blast, so that might end up being the route we go. It wouldn't save us right now, though. We really don't stand a chance yet. I'm gonna try to get our level up to the low 60s and then try some more. Next try at level 62. This time we take damage from Dugong thanks to Aurora Beam, but not too much before he went down. On Cloyster, we really lucked out, both critically hitting to take him to a sliver, burning him, and having him miss Clamp. The burn even finished him off. Slowbro got paralyzed early, but wasn't doing much damage with water guns, so we just took him down. But it took a long time. And against Jinx, we never got a hit because Flamethrower took her to a sliver, then she used a Super Potion because Gen 1 is weird like that. Last was Lapras, but not only did we hardly hurt it, but it used Hydro Pump to take us down. Okay, I think I'm gonna need a few more levels and for sure Fire Blast. Agility's cool, but we need that extra damage. Alright, level 67. This time we didn't take too much damage from Dugong thanks to it just using Takedown, and Cloyster missed Clamp, so we didn't get taken down by that. Slowbro took ages to make Faint as usual, but we only used a few water guns, so at least we have a bit of health left. Jinx got one shot by Fire Blast at least. Last was Lapras, and we could easily have lost if not for how Fire Blast critically hit, and she missed her Hydro Pump. That gave us a chance to take her down on the follow-up. Finally a win on this brutal fight. That was far from my first try at this level, mind you. Second is Fighting Trainer Bruno. Onix hung on from Dig, but just used X-Defend, so we never got hit. Hitmonchan was a one-shot with Flamethrower, so was Hitmonlee right after. The second Onix was super easy, just like the first one, and last was Machamp, who wasted his only chance to hit us by using Focus Energy. Clean fight. Third is Ghost Trainer Agatha. I thought she'd put up more of a fight, but Dig pretty much just took her whole team down just fine. We had to use Flamethrower for Golbat, but honestly, they couldn't do anything to us. Who'd have thought that Agatha would be the easiest Elite Four member? Fourth is Dragon Trainer Lance. This goes horribly because right away Water Onix just missed Hydro Pump, we did decent damage, then he landed one to take us from full health to red. We finished him off, but the Dragonair right after was able to finish us off. Okay, if we do that little damage to Dragonair and they do that much with Hydro Pump, then this isn't even close. We need to get strong enough to two-shot Water Onix, then I'd only need one miss. A few run-throughs of the Elite Four later and we're at level 73, but we still have horrible luck with this fight. Body Slam still doesn't do half of his health and damage, Hydro Pump still takes out most of ours, and Fire Blast still does less than a Body Slam. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to be in the high 70s before I can win this one. At level 77, I thought I was doing half of his health and damage, so I tried this fight a bunch more times, but as soon as Water Onix missed, we hit it again and it didn't faint. Then we took a Hydro Pump, because of course we did. We fainted him, and we even took out the Dragonair after, but the one after that took us down. This is the farthest we've gotten into this fight, and the worst part is that I bet we could win if we just didn't get hit by Hydro Pump. 3 levels later, we did another dozen or so tries until Hydro Pump didn't hit us. This time, thanks to Paralysis. Dragonair got us with Dragon Rage for 40 damage after we nearly took it out with Body Slam, but on our second Body Slam, the 256 glitch kicked in and we missed letting him use a Hyper Potion. We ended up taking extra damage because of that glitch. The second Dragonair goes down better, but we're still at about half health now. Aerodactyl takes out more than half of our remaining health with Hyper Beam, but we crit Fire Blast to finish him off. Last was Dragonite, and I thought I was doomed, but Body Slam paralyzed him, and then his Slam missed. Fire Blast didn't do great damage, but he was fully paralyzed, so our next Body Slam finished him off. We finally beat Lance. Finally, the Pokemon Champion. Pidgeot wasted his turn with Whirlwind, so he took no damage against him, but Alakazam was second, and Body Slam left him with the tiniest sliver, so he nailed us with the Psychic that lowered our special. Not special defense, all our special. Gen 1's brutal like that. He went down, and we used Dig a couple of times to take down Rhydon. Arcanine was after that, and you'd think it could be an issue because it's such a strong Pokemon, but nope. One Dig took it down. Against Exeggutor, though, is when things became very Gen 1. We get put to sleep off hypnosis and stay asleep for 5 whole turns in a row. 6 turns if you consider that the turn we wake up we don't get to attack in this game. Believe it or not, you can't really win a solo Pokemon challenge when you give them 6 free shots on you. Let's keep trying for better luck. Okay, so on our very next try, our Body Slam was actually a one-shot at Alakazam. I guess he was in a damage range. This means that things went way better getting to Exeggutor, who we just two-shot easily since he didn't put us to sleep this time. Last was Blastoise, and instantly it went amazingly with Body Slam critting, Hydro Pump missing, and us taking him out on the follow-up. We didn't even get hit once. How did that happen? That's another run done. It got pretty grindy near the end, not gonna lie. I'm just thankful that at least the last bit of grinding could be done against the Elite Four themselves, because grinding is way slower when you can't do that. I really hope you guys like that run. The next Pokemon Challenge might be up in 2 weeks, I'm not entirely sure. I've just started it, and it's really not looking like I can get it done in 1 week. It's gonna be Pokemon Emerald with only poison moves. Which I'm sure all of you hear and you're immediately like, not possible because there's steel Pokemon. But we're gonna have a rule where I can use non-poison moves on steel Pokemon. I know that sounds like a really lame rule in a poison move only run, but the rest of the run is so incredibly insane so far that honestly I don't think anyone's gonna care about that rule. The run is just such insanity so far and so brutal so far that, no, I don't think anyone's gonna complain. And for those who inevitably will complain, I don't care, I'm doing the run anyway. Expect to see a whole lot of Sludge Bomb in that run, because I think it's the strongest poison attacking move in the whole game. As always, I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments, in the challenge request section of my Discord channel, and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. Outro time. What's going on? Oh, the last 2 parts, well, not the last 2 parts, the final 2 parts of the main story of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, that Let's Play, are up on the channel now, which is awesome. Not the end of the Let's Play, because as we've talked about a billion times in the Let's Play, I want to do at least some of the post-game stuff. What a Geek was telling me that we could probably get like a good 2 or 3 play sessions out of just some post-game stuff. So I'm probably expecting, I don't know, between like 3 and 9 more videos in that Let's Play, probably something like that. Not trying to rush too fast into doing it just because everyone's been really busy and I've been really busy and, you know, everybody has their own job and their own life and everything. But I am excited to do more of that because that game was super fun. And of course, I do want to do more Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games at some point. And I want to do Pokemon Stadium 2. Everyone asks for Pokemon Stadium 2. But I have a lot of other things I want to do too. Like how I started that Crusader Kings 3 Let's Play and then got too busy and want to get back to it. Or Wrestling Empire, which I got very, very busy and have been having a hard time continuing. But you know, that's pretty much my whole gimmick, right? Isn't that my thing at this point? Is that I'm the busiest man on Earth? It's hard to run this whole show as just one dude, but whatever. I mean, I knew I was getting into this when I started doing YouTube 12 years ago now? Something like 12 years ago now, something insane like that. I don't know, I feel like I'm an old man at this point, doing YouTube forever. Anyway, I'm gonna go have some risotto for the first time. I've actually never had it before, but we're making some homemade risotto today, so I'm really excited to see how that turns out, and I think that might be ready soon. So I'm gonna go downstairs. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.